Hi everyone, I want to take a moment today to introduce a couple new collaboration tools that we have available. The first one is regarding the commodity chain project. The commodity chain project is due at the end of the quarter, and you'll be expected to form groups and look at a specific commodity and trace how that product gets made in the world, what resources go into it, what labor goes into it, and sort of map that out and present that in a virtual poster session to the class. It's not due until the last week of the quarter, but it's a good idea to start thinking about who you might find for group members and what you might be interested in doing for a topic. So we've made a Google form to help aid you in trying to collaborate on this project. This is going to be found in the news listing, and it'll also be under assignments as well. And what you'll see is the form here. And what I'm going to do is kind of walk you through how to use this form. It's pretty straightforward. It asks what is one possible commodity you'd be interested in analyzing for the commodity chain project. And for example, I might be interested in analyzing iPhones. Is there a certain region of the world you'd like to focus on for your project? I'm pretty sure iPhones are made in East Asia, so I might put that. And we could put Sample Sally and just a made-up email address here for the sake of this example. So once you have that in, you click Submit. And once you've submitted your comments, you'll have an option to see previous responses, edit your response, submit another response, because it might be likely that you're interested in a couple different topics, but you're not quite sure what you want to do yet. Putting up a topic idea does not bind you in any way to that topic. We're just using this as a tool to get people together in terms of collaboration. So you can submit another response if you're interested, or you can view responses. Now, one of the ways that you can review responses is to see the previous responses and that button that I clicked there. And so this summarizes the responses, and it shows the place more prominently because these are chosen from a category, so it's easy for the computer to make these into different categories. It has more trouble with that first question because responses vary. So if you click on the See Complete Responses tab there, you will get a view of the spreadsheet of all the different responses that folks have gotten so far. And you can see Dustin is ahead of the game here and has already put in one response. So if you look down the list, you might see, oh, there's a bunch of people that already want to do iPhones. You've got the names of them here. You've got the email addresses of them there. So that's one way that you can look at it. Another way that you can look at it is there's a link along the bottom here to view the results. And I'm going to click this link. And what this is a new Google tool called Fusion Tables that helps visualize information. The problem with it is that it doesn't automatically link to the spreadsheet to update information. So I'll try to update it once a day to get new information there, but it won't be automatic as soon as you've put in your results. What this does is again shows the spreadsheet form, so you can figure out who you have common interests with that way. You can look at it under this other tab that shows just responses as full cards that have everything that was in the person's individual survey. You can look at it in terms of a map and see where there might be people that have interests in talking about similar areas. You can see people interested in East Asia here and some of the things that they want to do as a topic. And perhaps the most useful one is the chart visualizer. Now with the chart is showing relationships between a person's name and the commodity that they're interested in doing. So, for example, here we have the commodities shown in the orange. We have export, baseball players, and iPhones. We don't have anybody else that wants to do iPhones right now, but you can see for baseball players there's two different folks that are interested in baseball players as a topic. And you can see the names here. And then go back to your other visualization to figure out the contact information. So once this spreadsheet gets populated with quite a bit of data, the visualizer tool might be one of the best ways to figure out the associations based on different things. So when you do answer the question, try to use the most common sort of generic term for whatever you're interested in talking about. If you go into more detail and are more specific, it's going to confuse the computer in terms of trying to group people together. So just try to be straightforward with that. As I said, the Fusion table thing won't be updated in real time, but we'll update it once a day. Now, another tool that we have for collaboration that we've posted is in relation to the current events assignments. And I know some of you have already turned in the current events assignments, but this is a way to help streamline the process of doing the peer review portion of the current events assignments. So if you go to the content page and you scroll down to assignments, we have a current events assignment peer review form. And if you click on this form, it will download a PDF of the peer review form. And if you open it up, it has different fields that you can fill in based on the feedback you want to give your classmate about their current event assignment. So, for example, on the form here, you would give your name, that's the name of the reviewer, the author of the assignment's name, to be the person whose assignment you are reviewing, answer what is one aspect of this assignment that the author did well, then what is one aspect or more of the assignment that the author could improve on, and how do you suggest they might improve on it. And then we have sort of ranking based on a bunch of different categories that we're going to use in the grading rubric for the current events assignment. So please rank how well the assignment corresponds to each of the following statements. So for example, the first one, the author uses 3 or more geographic concepts and applies them correctly. So if you think the author didn't do that very well, you would click poor. If it's kind of mediocre, it's okay, but it's not brilliant, basic. And if it was wonderful, you click strong. And you can go through on all of these different things that again are going to be used on the rubric for grading. And then there's a space at the bottom for any additional comments or clarification. Now, once you've filled in the form, you probably won't be able to save the form as a PDF and keep the information in it. But what you can do is to save it as a text form to be able to then share that with the person whose assignment you've reviewed. So you might say, we'll say Chris's review 1 or something like that, and then you can email the information from that form to them so they have it. This will just kind of help streamline the process. I know it's difficult sometimes to do peer reviews because we're not quite sure what we're looking for, but hopefully this will give you a sense of what we're going to be grading on. And the peer review process is meant to not just help the person who you are reviewing, but to also help you understand what makes a good assignment and what you might be able to improve on yourself. Okay, so hopefully these collaboration tools will come in handy. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me.